The WTO Deputy Chief has urged African nations to consider joining the World Trade Organization or risk missing the opportunity to influence global trade rules. Zhang Xiangchen was speaking at the second China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo happening in Changsha in central China. The presidents of Rwanda, Senegal and Algeria have also addressed the opening ceremony via video link. Yuli reports.
The numbers are a testament to the success of China-Africa cooperation in the past 2 decades.
China-Africa economic and trade volume was only $10 billion in the year 2000. It broke through 100 billion in 2008 and $200 billion in 2013. In 2020, the number was 187 billion despite the pandemic.
Yang Jiechi, the Communist Party of China's top foreign affairs official, says China has been Africa's largest trading partner for 12 consecutive years and is Africa's second-largest export destination for agricultural products. China-Africa trade accounts for more than 21% of Africa's total trade volume. This year marks the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between China and Rwanda. The mechanism had secured many business deals. Rwanda hopes to open a wider market in China for its chili and coffee.
We have already seen the value of this event. At the first expo in 2019, Rwandan companies secured rewarding trade deals, notably in the supply of specialty agricultural commodities to the Chinese market. This success has served to raise the ambition of our agribusiness sector even higher, and we appreciate the positive response by Chinese consumers to Rwanda's high-quality chili, tea, and coffee.
Over 20 forums, business matchmakings and promotional events will be held over the next 2 days. There are 2 major exhibitions showcasing products from China and African countries here in Changsha International Conference Center, as well as Gaoqiao Market. Participants will also discuss cooperation opportunities in logistics, processing, research and cross-border R&D business centers. Yuli, CGTN, Changsha, Hunan Province.
Let's head to Hannah Ryder, the CEO of Development Reimagined in Glasgow, Scotland. Her team is one of many exhibitors at the Trade Expo in Changsha, showcasing various products made in Africa. Hannah, you're exhibiting around 10 African products at this year's Expo. Would you briefly just tell us about some of them, as well as what you hope to achieve this year?
Great, yeah, so I wish my team could join you from Changsha, but it is about 6:30 in China, so they've finished their day of speaking with all the distributors and so on about our brands, and so now having a bit of well-deserved rest before they continue their work. We've been introducing 10 brands from 6 African countries into the Expo. The brands that we're supporting, really, the aim is really to highlight the diverse, high quality and luxury African brands which exist across the continent and really help the Chinese consumer reimagine African products. Let me give you 3 examples. One brand is Yane, which is a high-end jewelry brand from Ethiopia. It focuses on creating a positive socio-economic impact through job provision. They sustainably source the local materials and Ethiopian semi-precious gemstones. And they really try to take their consumers on a journey through Africa through its jewelry designs. Another one is Oye Africa, which is a Kenyan footwear and accessories brand, very close to my heart since I'm a Kenyan. They design handcraft ethical products, and they also prioritize the employment of artisanal women in Kibera, which is in Nairobi. The women were unemployed before working at Oye, so it really is trying to create new employment opportunities for them, and their products are leather and try to last as long as possible to contribute to the slow fashion industry. They also use upcycled denim as well to reduce denim going to landfill. So again, they've got a very nice sustainability story. And finally, last but not least, this is just one more of the 10 brands that we have, Monk's Gin, which is from South Africa. And again, they use locally sourced, hand-picked botanicals, ingredients from the mountains around the distillery. And they're also off-grid, so they're solar power. So it's the first off-grid distillery in Africa. And again, they support local farmers, they provide extra employment, the people who were there were unemployed before. So again, they're really trying to support the local environment. They've run lots of awards for their products, including the Gold Medal 2019 South African Craft Gin Award. So we're bringing these kinds of brands to China, trying to show Chinese consumers that African products aren't just kind of traditional artisanal products, but they are complex, they're beautiful, and hopefully we can create really great new markets for them in China.
Yeah, and talking of new markets, Hannah, this year's theme is New Start, New Opportunities and New Accomplishments. In keeping with this theme, and given that this expo comes off the back of the COVID-19 pandemic, what new opportunities are there that African countries can take advantage of?
Well, First of all, of course, China's economic recovery from COVID-19 has been amongst the first in the world and is continuing to progress pretty well. And so that domestic consumption, certainly relative to the rest of the world, offers a great deal of opportunities for African brands to tap into. And also before the pandemic, China's market was very attractive. So for instance, in 2019, consumption was rising by 16% a year. And you compare that to a market like the US, which many African brands try to enter in Europe, US was only increasing by 2%. So as consumption is rising, it offers a really important opportunity for African countries, African brands and businesses, entrepreneurs to really take advantage of. And this is what we really encourage.
Okay, so China is one of the leading trading partners across Africa. When looking at some of the policies at play, what are the key lessons African nations can use to improve trade amongst one another, particularly with the implementation of the intra-Africa trade agreements?
Well, AFCFTA, the Inter-Africa Trade Agreement, is focused on inter-Africa trade, but that doesn't mean that what is done internally doesn't have to have a positive impact externally. We need to remember that trade increases in two ways, in terms of volumes, but also in terms of value. And I think part of the challenge for African countries is that, especially with regards to our export partners, whether it's China, whether it's Europe, we've been very much focused on volume, but we need to really focus on value, adding the value to products and using the Chinese market as a key opportunity to add value to products, create a new market for us, and that will obviously also support intra-Africa trade. So I think we really need to support. Here at the Expo, we're able to not only just showcase the brands, but also, and I think many of the presidents were talking about this earlier, really also attract further investment into supporting value addition across the continent. And that's what we're also trying to do, encourage Chinese investors to think of Africa as a destination for high-end manufacturing, not just extraction of raw materials.
Hannah, we appreciate those insights. Thank you very much for joining us. Hannah Ryder, live for us there in Glasgow.